Good morning everybody and welcome back to part 2 of building the ultimate LEGO ZELDA playset, where we are continuing our rebuild of my LEGO Lookout Landing in real life. I quite literally just finished uploading the first part of this video, so we're picking up right where we left off. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. With this much of the model completed, including our feature with the first sticker added, and you can see I'm sort of preparing for the next stage. But I picked up the phone because I wanted to film and build about my pad border, because I found some bits on the wall that I think will be useful. We're going to tip this out in a second, including these guys, which I'm going to use to fix the gap that I created last week that was very unsightly. As well as some other parts I think might be useful, but what you can hear rustling around is those wonderful replacement parts that I wanted. So in here you can see the green bits, a couple of brown bits that I thought would be missing, that door frame I talked about, as well as whatever else the store had. I need a couple of these for a Demon Dragon project that's upcoming. So before we go any further, we're going to tip this out, take a look, and we're going to cut up, and I'm going to time lapse me removing these plates that I placed incorrectly in the last video. Also, I've got this. This is a Brandish. I've been missing this part from Lookout Landing, sorry, not Lookout Landing, Clan Attack set since it's been built. So it was finally good to finally find a store that had one of these in the 4x4 side. So very pleased to have that, but let's open this up. So a really simple order really. I mean, a lot of this isn't going to be used. A couple of parts to note. The 1x2s with the bricks on the sides, always using these and stuff. So if I can build them or if I don't have to worry about the colour or trees or brown or stuff, I wanted lots. I thought they could be really useful. Use them all the time in mocks. Maybe they're becoming useful here if we decide to add some more stuff to the walls. I also picked up these, again, more just for general use, but I was thinking there's a lot of palisade bricks in here. They're all brown. I wondered about adding some texture in masonry, although I don't think that's going to look any good. Dark brush grey masonry. I'm waiting for the day that light brush grey masonry and the ferns come back to the wall, or even the water tiles, but I'll take these in the meantime. I don't have as many dark brush grey, but I know they're going to come up for texturing, so having stock's not a bad idea. These are 2x8. The camera's not doing them justice. These are actually in teal. Firstly, I just always feel like I'm ordering teal as an interior colour part, so I just feel like having more on hand is going to be useful one day. I don't know why. It's also the same colour as the decoratory water, so who knows, maybe we'll have some use there. I know it very much just pulled me on the wall, but also even if I don't use it, 2x8s are great for filler. So I mean, you can tell there's a lot of filler on this bottle. Yes, I am standing upright on its end again. This is totally not a good idea, but we're doing it anyway. And then these ones were more for fun. Oh, we'll come back to these in a second. So we've got the wiped 1x2 halves. These are not going to be used in this model at all, but they could be useful. The leaves, particularly the sand green ones and some of these coloured ones, I do hope to use. I do have a pile of other ones as well, I think, to use. These 2x2s, these were really useful last year when we did the Link's Awakening mocks, so I wanted to pick up more of those because I thought they might actually come in handy. And then I just filled the extra gap with some of these because, again, they're really useful filler parts. So not the most exciting one. I went into the wall kind of hoping it'd have other stuff, but got very excited about the green plates and masonry and decided to buy anyway, which is great. Now, as for this thing on its end, so what am I going to be able to do with these guys? So I've been playing around, and behind this plate here, there's a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to slide that down to there. I'm going to put the 1x2 that's here, just here, and then put a 1x4 there. So that's going to leave me with only one stud gap, and it's going to be hidden underneath. So that's a big improvement. Not perfect, but there's another improvement. There's a 4 stud gap here, so I'm going to fill that with one, and I think I'm going to put a couple in this gap here, which I believe is 6 wide. So we might, we're only going to be able to get like 2 in, and they're going to be staggered, which is going to be suboptimal, but we'll try our best. We're filling the gap just a little bit more, just to make things look more consistent. I'm going to do that at the same time as I put these green plates in, so hopefully we're time lapse that now. Why, boy, am I glad I did that now. So you can't even tell, they're all replaced. So yes, welcome in again. As I said, everyone new. Sorry for that lovely cold open. We are going to start straight away. We're going to get straight in, and we are going to start by building these sections up here at the back. We're going to get some actual buildings on this Lookout Landing because I'm going to make some decent progress today, or at least that's the plan. So no more delaying, let's get started. And here's the jail cell. Let's see, let me grab this bubble in here. We can obviously put a figure in here, all locked up tight. Well, not really, but we've got some keys on a rack, transferred over from the original version. Let's put those back where they're supposed to be. And then we have this table here, which I'm just trying to put in, and this is the reason we're filming, is because I wanted to show you this of the first of the stickers going in here. Well, obviously excluding that one, but here we have the missing Lincoln Zelda wanted poster, which is being written up in the prison for some reason. Don't question the logic, question the cool sticker. Now I've just finished up one of our mini builds here. Here we have the Bargainer statue that lives with the Emperor's Research Lab and Lookout Landing. There we go, got some focus now. You can see another one of our decals on here. We've got like it's sloped down into this container box. I'm going to bring you over, of course, to the central laboratory where I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it goes just there. Oh, I'll push that down later, but let's show you around what else we've done. We've got the doors that go out to the back. The prison now is also doored off, but if I get the camera down in there, you can see inside. Oh, the Bulbo's still in there, I left him in. And then just by the side of it, we have a little workboard for the pad, which you can see is just sat on a jumper out the way. Ooh, that's also loose. We've got this little sack, probably full of research supplies, a chest here with one of our 4 regional posters. Nothing on the inside, I'm gonna have to change that. We'll have to add something into the inside. And then my favorite section is this wall here. We have the Roro Centro Mine sticker here. So sort of recreating where you need to go to get to there. And then over on this wall, we've got plenty of drawers for Josh's research, as well as some depth stuff in these boxes here. So we've got a small bright bloom that is lit up. Unfortunately, that part does not come in spring yellowish orange. I will change it out if it ever does for the sealed version, but that's the lit up version. A cube of zonite, and then a large bright bloom as well. Unfortunately, neither Joshua or Robbie are figures that are coming anytime soon, so that is that. But yeah, you can see we've built up this section. I chose to invert these panels around the wall. That's a change from the original version, just because I think it adds more texture. I think it looks nicer like that, and that's all the way around. And then we've got the first section of wall here as well. And also I wanted to mention as well, because I haven't already, is although I'm working with a lot of brown, I'm still sitting on 0 broken pieces, which honestly is a little bit of a surprise. We will see if that lasts out the whole of this build. But I'm now going to continue on. I want to do the roof over the well. I'm not sure I'm going to put these 2 front pillars on yet, just because I think I'm going to be knocking them. You'll notice I took all of the decorative bits off the Sacred Grounds entrance, because my arm was just sort of reaching across and disrupting them all. So I think instead we'll actually let's finish off the wall on this side, and then we'll slowly start to move away around to the left. Okay, time's moved on, progress has moved on. Well, actually, quite a lot of progress. As expected, we finished the right-hand side of the wall here. And actually, it was really cool for me to rediscover a detail that I didn't actually know we had, which was these sort of support slopes that are completely hidden. Don't even think I really showcased those in the original video all those years ago. However, yeah, it looks pretty cool from that side. Worried it was maybe a little bit flat, but then again, it's not quite the front, and obviously it's not the full side, so I'm not too worried. We've got the little weapon stash down here, which I still think are a really cool touch. I forgot about these as well while building, so that was neat. I've not quite finished the battlements over on this side, but we do have the little support dummy and these staircases. There's that rat, obviously. This one, of course, will be going up to the tower, and this one is just how you get up on top of the workspace. I did add in those columns, the awning over the thing here as well, and then of course you've got the battlements that go all the way up and over, and then we'll continue of course onto the front, because remember we are missing 2 front sections, of course, a tower, a top, and a big building. So I reckon we are probably way over halfway at this point. I think obviously we forget that about 400 of the 2,700 parts just went into the flat base, plus I think another about, I want to say 300 probably went into this as well. So I definitely think we're over halfway now. These were the pieces left with another tray's worth down here. And yeah, I'm particularly happy. I do want to, because the rest of the parcels of Secret Cave have come in now, to show you the full minifigure lineup, because we have those new ones that I promised in the last video. Okay, so you've already seen this one and this one before. No changes there, so let's get on to a couple of the quick updates. We'll do these super quick. For our adventure, we now have a backpack. That was a very expensive part to get, and obviously it doesn't work with the ponytail, so she's forever looking to the right, but that is okay. This guy is also unchanged, never mind. And then we just changed out the hair on this soldier here for the Widow Peak. So that's 2 more that are actually sorted. Another one that was finished this time is our farmer. I got my hands on a sort of neck bracket piece here. I don't know why that's angled outwards like that, but then also the Shanks version of the One Piece hat, which is great. So this is just a generic farmer, and he is going to be walking around with his rake like we see in Breath of Tears of the Kingdom. Here, maybe he's coming into the village, maybe he's doing stuff in the village, or maybe he's actually defending the walls and he's just a very ill-equipped monster hunter. Anyway, it's really cool to be able to use that part, because obviously that was not a guarantee. And then here we have Scorpus as well. So he was half finished last time, but you can see I've got my Orlando Bloom head has come in here from Will Turner. He's got the soldier armor as well, and he looks absolutely perfect for the gate. He's the one I'm most happy with because he works really well. And excitingly, I've just discovered that the Dragon Ball Paladin is coming on a keychain, and you can actually rip this off, so I might be able to get a couple more Monster Control Crew soldier parts, because the torso and the legs would have to be stuck together, but I could invert them like this, could take the arms off for another character, and it doesn't come with the armor piece, but that's okay. So I might be able to get 1 or 2 more maybe soldiers, probably. They would have to be full suited, unfortunately, I think. Which is a little bit rough, although I did see a way that you could get something out of it. Anyway, point being is I can get another soldier or 2 if I wanted to. And then we have another new one, which is this one here. It's just using a generic torso. It's actually a yellow skin torso, but you just can't tell with this head combo on it. And she's got an X, so either she is training with the training dummy, or she's chopping wood down to expand fortifications. So yeah, another just sort of simple villager, not based off anyone specific. And then in progress still, we have Taro now. I only had his head and I think his legs last time. We're still missing obviously the hair, which I actually have on the way, and then a skirt piece to give him his sort of jumper around his thing, and then he's got his bare feet through these trousers here. I don't know if I want to... Are these dual molded? No, they're not dual molded. I have to be careful. I was going to say I don't know if I want to erase the print, but clearly not if they are. It's not actually plastic injected. And then we also have, coming from the same figure as this torso, we have the legs for Puro as well. So that's really cool. Let's keep those off to the side though. I mentioned the Arakura last time, although I do want to try and see if I can grab another one of these to do some more proper Rito. And then we have this, which is a very cursed Goron setup here. It might actually look better like this. I want to try also the Things face from the Fantastic Four set, which I have, but just not at hand right now. But anyway, the reason isn't actually for lookout, it is for this. So this is the Sonic Sphere, and of course this is so that we can have Yonobo in his launch sphere, which is something we wanted to do for a while. So and he goes off screen. Anyway, last one we need to take a look at is these 2 here. Now these, I don't know, you might not actually be able to tell, these are glide suit links. So they are supposed to be the same, but obviously when ordering parts I was slightly limited by what I could find. Eventually they will both have the same head and hair, although I may change this to the Old Man Luke hair as well to match with the archaic tunic. But anyway, this is a purest interpretation of the glide suit link, and of course this is going to be for our tower function because I need 2 of them in order to be able to sort of launch them out the top. So this was a fun one because obviously it's a very challenging outfit. It's obviously not perfect, but this is the one that's going to be in the air. So we're using Echo's torso from the Marvel Series 2, which works really well for some of that ornate detailing. Some plain brown legs. I do have someone with some harnesses on in my Bricklink wanted list, but I actually had 16 of these brown legs hanging around because I made a little oopsie with my Kraken Knights and probably cost myself about 4 or 5 quid. However, it doesn't matter because obviously brown legs are always going to be useful, and actually it saved me in this scenario. And these are still Echo's hands, but these are the man bat arms. I was originally going to get both of them to have man arms, however I don't think I'm going to do that. I may try and find some brown arms just to make it more accurate, but for now this is how it's going to be. No one in the public is going to notice. Remember, this is mostly for shows. And actually I do like that there's some contrast between them because obviously you want it to look like he's flown out, which is really cool. But yeah, that was an interesting challenge to come up with very last minute, but they look absolutely great, obviously within the purest realms. And then otherwise I think for a fact it's definitely going to be the Farmer and Scorpus that are going to be my favourites. As for who we're missing, that is for now at least it's Pura, Taro and Mubs, I think are the big 3. I think I have one more random figure in construction, but I've also got Farah from the well to do. Yeah, we got things moving, we've got figures happening, so we keep building while we wait. Okay, well that is a big win. Not only did we get the big platform on top, which hey, that's looking pretty cool, and obviously has secured all of that in, but we now have the Pura house as well. So you just saw a clip of this in the inside, and obviously that is now completely sealed in. Obviously this can easily be removed. That staircase can also be removed, and now has the full telescope attachment as well, with all of the pathways to get up there that you climb. And then of course there is sort of no second floor. Now I was originally hoping that this would be more removable so that you could see the inside, however that didn't end up happening. What I think I need to do is effectively add an extra layer of plates in here, like another brown layer, and then that will effectively be the just all removable. It will just make that section removable because basically the hinges don't come off, and it just makes things a pain because that center bit also doesn't come off, so that's great. I mean, there's a chance that I might be able to break it at that 1x2 plate, therefore all of this 1x6 stays down, but then again that 1x4 tile there is not helping it. So currently not really a great way to access the inside, which is a shame. We've got the wooden supports that come up, we've got the little beam on the top, and then we've got the telescope. And as mentioned, this can just sort of sit down there. Of course we've got the the main door for that Pura shot. And then of course, if we zoom all the way out, you can see that has completely changed the landscape. I'll be honest, I'm just gonna keep going because I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if it's actually looking good or not, which is a weird thing to say at this point. I was happy with it a second ago. And also I need to change the Technic pins in this. I've done it on this side, so it's actually rigid, but I should put a loose friction one in by mistake, and that obviously is a disaster. Nothing I can do about these dark greys until the Technic bricks are recolored, by the way, but that's fine. Yeah, so it's time for trouble now. I don't know, maybe it's better than I thought. I think it might be time to take a break. Okay, so halfway up the tower, I wanted to wait until this point specifically because I need to be feature testing. So in here, you'll notice the platform, the hole at the back, a little bit of Technic, and let me just show you down the hole. We've got this big long rod and these wheels. First thing that went wrong is the wheels are actually too big. They weren't necessary here at all, but effectively, this is how the magic trick is gonna work, right? I'm gonna be able to take our glide suit link, remember this is the temporary base, and we're gonna put him in. Oh. Right, now fixed. Looks like I forgot I cannot put downward pressure on that. I'm probably just going to be leaving him in there because effectively the demonstration is going to work that we're going to close the doors and then I'm going to pull the lever at the back and he's going to go up. Right, and at that point, if the doors were open, it would look like, oh, he's come back down, but I'm going to rapidly increase him up. He's in there. So he's not going to go all the way up the tower, which is unfortunate. As I said, I want to change this so that it will. But we'll have him up the top of the tower and then the rapid motion upwards should launch him out the top. And we're going to obviously be testing it as we go. But obviously I needed to build the mechanism for this, check that it actually go up. When I first put it in, I thought it wasn't going to work because of the wheels. But effectively, they do fit. What's actually helping here is there's that little bit of flex on these sidewards snot panels with the fences. So that's what's allowing it to go up and actually sometimes helping it stay up there. So effectively, we're going to have a great little magic trick. Yeah, those decorations have been proving a problem, where this looks like it might actually work as a feature. Now, the other thing I was worried about is that rapidly doing that would rip this off its base, which hasn't been happening, although obviously, as we know, this whole section is slightly loose. So we're still yet to see what happens when I lift it up, whether this entire thing like sags down this side and breaks it. But yeah, we've added some nice decorations and stuff. We've got the flags and the pennants. They're all quite loose, which is not great, but yeah, they'll be fine. And you can see that we're now up to almost the same height as the Pura house. We've still got the top to go on this, so I'm going to do part of that now, and then we'll continue testing to see if this is actually going to function. Right, so this is going to be the first test. We've got our full height here. So, as it's done in game, we've got to open the hatch, and for the full effectiveness, I'm going to shut the doors, and then let's bring the camera all the way back. It worked! Let's just do it again. Okay, not too much height. Not too much height. Let's focus on the top. I'm going to have to make sure that he's nice and hidden. Although, admittedly, I don't think people will be looking. But let's see how much height we get. Ooh. Okay, enough. This is... Oh, that is now very loose. Okay, so after enough attempts, stuff goes wrong. Although... Ooh! Ooh! Okay. Right, so that's the weak spot. Noted. Surgery time. Okay, so it's actually been a couple of days and I brought you guys over to a chest of drawers because, as you can see, I've been tinkering around with some things. And part of that, of course, was so that I had great access for some reinforcements. And you might be going, oh, well, you have no idea what you're talking about. And that is because it is all in there. So I've got some green hinge plates. These are still temporary, stolen from another set, but I've got a Brinkley recorder on the way. You can see the rat is back in. And these both here, obviously, are supporting the side of the model here. And then, of course, Around the back, we have one on this side as well. So again, it just hinges there, and I've actually got a jumper plate here, which might be fun. It's helping to support stuff and it just keeps stuff nice and steady, but it might be useful for posing a figure. And then you may notice, actually, I should have this on the turntable so I can spin it around, but that wall segment is now completely filled in behind there. I again installed some palisade bricks just to get rid of that hole that was there, that was silly. And then the staircase here has also been reinforced because I noticed it was flexing and splitting a lot. So it now has I cannot get you in there, should have taken a photo beforehand. Two just bricks or columns that came from those pad parts that we looked at the beginning of the video. And then I've actually also added a 2x4 brown tile there as well, rejoining that section together. That's something that should have just been on the original model, but clearly whenever I was doing that section, it just didn't cross my mind. So this was all nice and reinforced. I wasn't going to do this for a while, but I could see that while it wasn't going to break, it was very much in danger of flexing. So I've dealt with that now, and actually I feel quite confident in picking this section up. Obviously the front is going to be the real challenge here, so we'll see what happens. There's also been some modifications to the tower as well. So for example, you're not going to be able to see it, but I changed out the Technic beams and I found a solution that works really consistently. So this is going up and down great now. You can see, wow, oh, and we're getting a little bit stuck. It's actually it landing on the front here. And if I give that a little poke, it's fine. It just needs sort of angling backwards. I assume it's from me holding it too far forward. Yeah, like look, it's don't know what's happening now. It wasn't doing this yesterday, so then I've got a decent consistency, and you'll notice, look, it's barely affecting it, and this is good because obviously this section is obviously going to be in the air as well. So this is improvements. Let's roll with it and keep going. So the front right section's now built. This is the section with the shops where Mubs is eventually going to go when she's done. But we've got some apples in here with some golden ones as well, and then with some wheat. One of them has jumped out the back, which is great. And then we've got this tree, which I really wish could have been in dark brown. If those parts ever come in dark brown, we will change this over, because it just is so uncontrast compared to everything else, which is not ideal. And then also we just got a square base because that rounded piece apparently doesn't come in the right color. A couple of flowers around, and then all this pathing's going to look really random. So let me try and sort of accentuate things to you. So the bottom of the fountain from the previous segment, remember how it overhangs on the main place, is here. So all of this is going to sort of slide underneath. This is actually the path that continues as like a diagonal into the right, and this square here that will go off here is where the front gate is going to overlap. Something that is becoming more and more perturbing, feels like the right word to me, as we go on. And then this diagonal here, this is the central part of that path that comes up towards the center of the fountain, sort of completing our main quadrant around it, and that would look really great from over above. In the original design, this awning as well actually was in light yellow. However, that is not the case because those parts don't come in light yellow, or actually no, that's incorrect, they do. It's really expensive. So I need to find a better color contrast there, just because I want that to work. And then of course we've got the battlements all the way around, and then the walls. So how this is going to sit is obviously, this is actually the front, even though this is where the studs are, this is actually the angled wall. We've got the clips for the hinges here, and I made use of having this space here just to have some fun little leaf details, so that's really nice. We've got a banner, two small windows, more of the sort of dumpies, and then again obviously the front gate is going to come in here, which will be really exciting. So this was a really quick build. It's actually really stable. It's literally just 2 layers of plates. Yeah, I'm happy with this. It's quite heavy. It's, for what it is, it's quite heavy, so I'm a little worried about obviously these being attached by clips. That's of course why I added the second clip, although something deep down tells me that 2 is not going to be enough. I mean, we're going to test at the end of this video, but there's no need to sort of worry right now, because we're just going to build the other side and build the left side. That's not the right side, but yeah, the left side from front on. Similar story, except not really. Here's the other side. I've been focused on this for about 40 minutes now, but I'll come back to that. Let's show you the rest of it. So this is the front left section, which is where one of the crashed pillar tablets lands in Lookout Landing. So this will be where the Zona survey team person is, so the generic one and Tara, because I forgot about the generic one in the last clip. We've got some extra plants. We've got a crate full of food storage for Lookout Landing. There's fish in there. I need to get another fish, but sangria fish, weirdly uncommon. And then here's the puddle of water that things fall into. It's a little sort of hard to see on the green, how I didn't really want to elevate it up anymore. And we've got a couple of the sky flowers and sort of blossoms from the trees from GSI here in bright yellowish orange. And then of course the actual pillar here, which I can easily remove. I did have the frog on the flower, but I didn't like that you can see the flower, so the frog is now at the back of this stand. It is just a simple architectural build with one of our stickers on it with the sort of the translation about the Chamberlain, who of course we later learn out as Lenalia. And then of course, once again, you can see it more clearly now how this overlap works. But again, it's really quite firm, and no breakages yet either. Just got a nice battlement. And then this side is very similar. Just another plant here, 2 windows. Yeah, don't question this. I'll restick it and we'll seal it. But it turns out that this is where a lot of my hands go for grabbing. And then a slightly bigger section here, the rest of the paths. And that brings us down to the section. This is going to be where the gatehouse attaches. Originally we had this that was attached by a turntable and a stud. However, I've been playing around with the, I want to say it's like a 6x12 plate that the front gatehouse is going to be. It's bigger than that. I think it's 6x16 almost, or 6x14. It's something anyway, and that did not work very well. So I spent about 40 minutes just sort of playing around with different options, trying to find something that was going to be more secure, because this is not it. And also it still allows it to freely rotate. And I found out that this here is the spacing that actually does allow me to fully attach the gate and get it secure. I mean, it's secure for now. Again, no idea what's going to happen when I try and pick it up, but that will then mean if I bring this around, and I've been experimenting with a latch system here, it will look like that. And now you can see the sort of gate where the central bit's going to be, the main path down the middle, and then the 2 diagonals coming off the side, and the fountains there. So it's quite a shallow section, but I quite like it. And then, because this is a view you're never going to really get to see, at least not without peering down from above, we got this as the front section of the village, which is going to add, I think, a lot of width to the model, which is cool. Front gate time though. Let's get this one back out of the way and get this one back in, because I want to show you that this thing actually does attach. Seems to flip a coin every time whether this is going to be easy to attach or not, but there we go. It's on there. Yeah, 2 banners on the front, a little walkway between the 2, another 2 places, 2 post figures around the top, and then some empty space around here, because this is quite frankly just not usable. Lovely, look at this like bend here, that's great. Although it is completely flat, I will say that, and it's actually kind of good that this bends upwards, because it's just not going to interfere. I've left this sort of wall expansion section on this side. This was something that was in the original model, just to hide the gap when the 2 sections join. I don't know if it's actually just going to get in the way or not, so we'll see. And then we've got this little bar on here to be the little walkway, and so on and so forth. I mean, it's a little out of scale, just by the nature of this being a playset. So if I bring a link over, he doesn't look great stood here because it's like no defense for him. But like behind one of these, that looks significantly better. So I'm more happy with that. You see, it's wobbling, but the whole thing's wobbling. So like, whatever. We might be able to do something about that. I mean, at the moment, it's still 1 layer off the ground at the front. Again, see, I've just knocked that off. There's no way these stickers survive. This is going to be very much like the Hyrule Castle banners all over again. We'll see. I've still got a couple of months to fix things up. But yeah, as you can see, it's not great, is it? That's not great. I do wonder, maybe there'd be a way to get a hinge brick in here or something. That would be optimal, I fear. I might look into that, but for now, let's just get them attached to the village. So I have a whole village to show you, and I realise that's probably what most of you are excited about, but I have to call out this hinge. I just talked about it in the last clip. That is by far the best decision I've made for this model ever. So that's really cool. I'll change it out to brown, but sorry. Ta-da! Wow, look at that. Look at that castle. That's cool. Yeah, we're gonna trouble focus because this thing is huge. I mean, look at that. It's massive, it's massive, it's massive. From the big tower all the way down to the village, to the hut there. I mean, you've seen all these details, but you certainly haven't seen them all together. There's the telescope. I'll take some photos, hopefully we'll get those up on the screen as well. But we've got the well down there. There is going to be a full video going over this as well. However, yeah, from the front gate opens up onto the main village, and then of course I can swing this one out and swing this one out, and voila, you have a complete playset that is an absolute nightmare for my focal length. Look at that go. Oh yes, and of course we have the double hinges as well, so it can come all the way out, or we can sort of have it like flush against there, and then peel it out as well. So you've got the double positioning, which is obviously useful for models of this size, and we can bring it all the way out to there and then do the same for this side as well. And then it's like even bigger. This is ridiculous. How am I taking this to a show? This is impossible. We're gonna start pop plating with figures, and then I can show you a couple more of the scenes up close. Although, as I said, there'll be a separate thing going through this. Wow, that's huge. Okay, because obviously, you know, Pura, we've got Zelda up by the telescope. We're going to have to move some more figures around up there. And then if we come down the house, you can see Link is coming down the stairs. This is Hyrulean Head Verdant. We've got a Goron Unova who's waiting here for, I guess, a meeting. We need to get the banners on here, I think. And then we've got some merchant coming down the stairs. We've got Glide Link in the base of the tower, and the other version of him paragliding down. We've got Pen sub-in or Rito sub-in. We've got the lady throwing an axe at the target dummy, the adventurer walking in, and no one down at the front yet because no Zonai stuff. We've got this guard on the wall. We've got this farmer on the wall. And then we've got the lady sweeping out for Pura Joshua. That'll be there eventually. And then we've got this man having a sit down at the picnic. And then my favourite scene, because we've got Scorpus by the emergency shelter. And then let's just pull out the phone. Whee! That's going to work so well. And yeah, we have a full village. Isn't that cool, guys? As I said, I'm not going to spoil it too much right now, because there's a full scene, because we have something important to do, and that is we're going to try and pick it up. I mean, it was inevitable we were going to have to give this a go, right? Okay, so moment of truth. I'm gonna attempt to pick it up. Ooh, this is a scary one. What am I doing this on a platform again? Well, here goes nothing. In a 3, 2, 1.